Hi, I'm Ray Hastings. I was a Staff Sergeant, which is an E6, and I served in the Army between 1967 and 1970. I grew up in the Bay Area, San Francisco and San Jose, so it was a really good place to grow up. My father was a very bad alcoholic, and that part of it wasn't real enjoyable. My grandfather was in World War I, and he never spoke a word about his tour or what went on. My dad was in World War II. He was up in the Aleutian Islands. I was a child of the 60s, and we really didn't pay much attention, to what was going on. It was just kind of listen to a lot of music and party all the time. We were under the draft at that point, so they would give you, it was like the lottery. You would get a number, and my number was about 16, which didn't leave any doubt I would be drafted. So a bunch of my friends went up for draft physical with me. Until I got into basic training and advanced infantry, I didn't really know too much about Vietnam at all. I didn't think after the first 3 months I was going to survive. It's like teaching a child to swim by throwing them in the deep end. We went right into battle. As soon as I got there, being with the 1st Air Cavalry meant I was with the helicopter unit. The first week or two, we lost 30 helicopters trying to get into Ashaw Valley just to put a fire base together where we could land and deploy troops. And every day, one of our group would be killed. 2 brothers, both died. They came and said, "We're not going to make it today," and they both got killed that day. Every time we'd deploy in the helicopters, we would see a lot of missiles flying through the air. Helicopters weren't my favorite mode of transportation for sure, because I just thought they were big targets. I wrote a few postcards and told people goodbye. So I did experience things that were related to PTSD when I first got out, before I even knew what some of the symptoms were. I'd hear a car backfire and I'd be on the ground looking for a place to hide, or nightmares, occasional rage, definitely anger that would kind of just erupt for little or no reason. I liked to camp, but I'd be hyper alert during most of the time, and I'd want to walk in front of everybody like I was walking point. And I was like, point man, although there was no reason for me to be up there. The healing process, I think, will pretty much take place from the time you're serving in the service until you find a place where they're going to lay you to rest. We didn't even want to tell people we'd been to Vietnam because they didn't receive us real well when we got home. Very tumultuous time. So yeah, I kind of hid the fact that I was a Vietnam veteran for the first 10 years, which didn't make me feel any better about what I had done. My mom said, I went over a young, kind of a kid, and I came back a disillusioned young man, which was probably very accurate. The brotherhood that you experience, depending on if you're in heavy combat, would draw you even closer. It was awesome how close you could get to your fellow brothers that were serving at the time. You would bond no matter what with all the people that you were stationed with, whether they were going to make it back or not. There's some benefits, a lot of benefits to being in the service, but I would say count the cost before you make your decision. Most veterans I've ever met need a friend, and there's not anybody out there that couldn't be a friend, and I'm available to go the extra mile with them. And if they want to know anything about faith, I'm more than willing and hopeful and prayerful to share that with them too.